Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
I want to hear all about the Clay County Fair, y'all. Both of you went out there on Saturday while I was in Gainesville observing some Gators football, but also want to let people know throughout the show today, we have 3 pairs of tickets to go see Hardy. He is coming to VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena next Thursday.
Awesome.
So be listening when you hear a Hardy song, be the right caller, and you will get hooked up to go to that concert on next week.
How was Eric Church, first off?
He was fantastic.
Okay.
He broke his foot. He kicked his suitcase accidentally in his hotel room.
Yeah, that happened.
Broke his foot. So he didn't tell us that, though, until like halfway through the show. So I didn't really realize that
What was happening?
You're like, why isn't he moving as much as you normally see him?
Because I've seen him multiple times, and he's a performer. I'm not saying he jumps out of the stage or whatever, but he definitely moves around as he plays the guitar and things like that. But no, he was fantastic. He played for a long time, which was fun. And then his son, his older son, made sure that he played. He has a song called "These Boots." In honor of the boot that he had on his left foot. Not like cowboy boot, but broken foot boot. Exactly. I think he only has like 2 more stops on this tour, maybe 1 more.
Yeah.
And then he's done. So he'll be able to recuperate a little bit.
That accidental kick in the luggage, in the room. I can see how that could break.
Right. Especially because most people nowadays have, not most, I shouldn't say, but I feel like a lot more people have the hard-sided luggage than back in the day. So now your luggage
Do you think like just running into it would break your bone?
Especially if it's like some sort of steel or metal, right?
Okay. Is it made out of steel?
Not most people's, but I think the hard ones are metal.
Yeah, they have like metal ones now.
I mean, I'm not rich, so I don't have the like super nice suitcases, but Eric Church is quite wealthy.
Super wealthy,
I would imagine he has a really nice suitcase.
Maybe he just stubbed his toe and cracked it, on the old luggage.
When you're like, you hit that pinky toe sometimes, and it's like the most painful thing, though.
But you don't break it.
I broke my pinky toe.
Doing that?
On a coffee table, though, not a suitcase.
I broke it. I was coming around a corner.
It's got that osteoporosis or something going on, those weak bones or something.
No, I was little when I broke mine.
It starts young, I'm told.
There you go. All right, so tell me.
Sorry, I don't have strong feet like you, Tommy.
Strong pinky toes. Let's get right down to it.
Tell me about the Clay County Fair. You put something in our group text today, and I had no idea what you were talking about. So I immediately Googled it.
She's trying to find it.
I tried to find it on Twitter and online. I was like,
really?
So
You didn't
5 minutes
know?
go back.
God.
I don't know. I just thought I missed something.
Well, it was quite the show. First of all, it's really cool out there. I mean, it's packed out there.
The Clay County Fair does a great job.
It's so cool. And I didn't know exactly what we were doing. And first of all, I didn't know what the food group was. I had to ask her.
Oh.
I thought it was a corn dog at first because that's the way it looked
like a corn dog,
And she's like, "No, they're fried Twinkies." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And so anyway, she's like, she hands me the mic and she's like, "Drum up some business." I was like, okay, I knew Taylor wasn't going to do any of that stuff. She took all the pictures and videos, and next thing you know, we get the first group of kids up, and they get their names, and you're trying to make fun out of the whole thing.
Sure.
You're trying to have a good time, and first batch comes out, and they're too hot. They're too hot. And we start the timer, and the kids are trying to eat the Twinkies, but they can't because they're too hot. And the parents are going, "Keep eating." I felt like it was a Saturday Night Live skit or something. It was just unbelievable. And then,
the one kid too, he was the first because I was watching him because he went ate the whole thing almost in one bite, but because it was so hot, his eyes got like really big, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "It's hot," and it's like falling out of his mouth.
This sounds like
that's right. The
dad.
dad was next to me, and he's like, "Yeah, he won like some eating contest before. He should be eating a ton of them." I'm like, "I think they might be too hot or something." So they probably burnt the out of their mouth.
Yeah, because the inside of that, it's like when you bite
whose
something.
idea was it to do a fried Twinkie eating contest?
I don't know. It was actually a great idea. They just had to be a little cooler.
Cool down a little,
Cool down a little bit. But anyway, so we go on and we get
fried. It comes out of the fryer.
we get more contestants, more kids, and then all of a sudden,
come burn your mouth, kids.
All of a sudden, this 30-year-old guy sits down at the table. He sits down at the end. We're like, okay, whatever. You want to get it?
Otherwise, it was just children.
Otherwise, it was just children. But I was pitching all right, we got the record's 2. Can anyone eat more than 2 fried Twinkies in 60 seconds? And he sat down. He's like, two, yeah, no problem, no problem. So I went over. I was like, what's your name? He told me his name. So I was trying to be funny. I'm like, you got inspiration for being here today? He's like, I'm hungry. We're like, okay, cool. He's like, how many do I got to do? I'm like, just more than 2. He's like, no problem, no problem. He did one like in 2 bites. And then they cooled down by then, I think.
Okay.
And then the second one, it didn't go as good because they're hard. I think they must fill you up really quick or something because nobody could do more than 2.
It's so much sugar.
Yeah.
Nobody could do more than 2, and they had water to rinse it down.
That's nice.
Anyway, it was worth the drive out there for me. I came home with like 3 funny stories. I'm like, you're not gonna believe what this is. Just awesome, just good times.
And I think it was the final one, or maybe the one before that. It came down to, it was like 2 kids, so they both had the same amount, but you have to finish fully eating.
Yes.
And so it came down to a little girl, Tessa, and I can't remember the little boy's name, but they both
Malachi.
Malachi and Tessa, and so they were trying to finish. So they both have the same amount. They were on that second one, and they're chewing and chewing and chewing, trying to get these second ones down.
Using water.
They're like, you got to finish it. You got to finish it. And both kids, like, cheeks completely puffed out, full of like Twinkie, and they're trying. Little girl, I thought she was gonna get sick a couple times. I was like, oh God. And her sister's yelling. She's like, you can spit it out. You don't have to finish. And she's shaking her head like, I'm finishing this. Like, I'm going to win.
I love the
little girl
warrior
ended
in
up
her.
winning.
Okay.
Tessa
the
won.
boy eventually goes,
I can't do it.
I'm done.
Did either of you eat a fried Twinkie?
Oh, no.
What's
I don't
that?
like regular Twinkies. I'm not eating a fried one.
No, I didn't.
You didn't taste it at all to see what?
No, I didn't.
What they're going
I don't know.
through?
I'm battling enough to clog the arteries. You know what I mean? I don't need to give it any more additional help.
But it did look like they had them on a stick.
Good.
So it was like it looked like a corn dog. It looked like you're about to eat a corn dog. The one kid, I think, was surprised because I think he thought it was a corn dog because he bit it and then he looked at it and stood up. He's like, I'm not doing this. And then Tommy's like, you're done. He's like, yeah,
that's right. That kid
There's
left
like one
early.
bite out
I know
of it.
last week when Dempsey went, or 2 weeks ago when Dempsey went to kick off the fair and the eating contest, it was corn dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, they had an adult corn dog and they had an adult Oreo. We had the kid Twinkies.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have a division between the children. So why was the 30-year-old guy there?
Well, he was hungry.
He was hungry. He wanted to have a couple Twinkies. So, yeah, it was great. It was great. And I tell you what, one thing I think we went the same way. That 9B connector to 210, that's beautiful. I didn't know they finished all that.
Because it takes you like the back way rather than having to come, which splits the traffic. It's kind of like when you go to Players Championship now and you can go the Nocatee way and it splits traffic halfway. Then back in the day, everybody had to file in one way. So they have the other option now, and it definitely helps because there's people entering through both sides now.
It cuts off, so you can go right to the other side of 95 on 210.
Okay, I haven't gone that way.
Almost just similar. Me neither. It was like brand new for me too, but what an easy way to get there and get home as well. But fun times.
It's a super fun place. I've told y'all, I saw Sam Hunt there back in 2014 at the Clay County Fair.
Yeah.
Before he obviously had made it huge. Yep. And then I've also seen other country artists there, and Drake White and then Trace Rice as well.
And then I was up till past 2 a.m. celebrating Avery's birthday. That was a lot of fun.
Happy 25th birthday, Avery.
Yeah, Avery, it's over. The weekend celebration has been completed. But it was great. Went to the Grand. Have you guys been to the Grand?
Yes.
The Grand. My friend Jerry's place right there in Neptune
I haven't,
Beach.
but I heard it's fantastic.
Really cool, loungy type of place. Really cool spot. Then ended up, of course, Avery wanted to go home. I'm like, you can't go home without stopping at Pete's on your birthday. You're here every weekend. What are you talking about? Let's go have a beer. And we went and had about 3 or 4 of them and had a good time. But and then we came home and cooked a bunch of pizza, and kids came over.
Awesome.
And it was. Harley had her prom, so it was like a collective.
I saw the picture. She looked beautiful.
She had a bunch of friends over, and it was a good time. Good time. Sunday was chill at the beach. It was awesome, man. We have some of the most beautiful beaches. I mean, I've been here for 30 years, and I say it all the time. But just how smooth it is. There's no rocks. There's no stuff to
shelly.
get.
There's certain beaches that are very shelly.
Very shelly. Yeah, it was just absolutely
that hurts
spectacular.
My feet. I have sensitive feet when it comes to the shells.
Yes, especially your pinkies.
I think I heard. I saw a lot of comments. I thought your girls got a kick out of the egg salad video that was posted in the pimento cheese. They were like, he hates pimento cheese.
Well, unlike you, we love pimento cheese. Brian made some fresh pimento cheese yesterday. excuse me, for the Masters. We also went to the beach before that. It was a gorgeous day.
It really was. It really was. Yeah, and the Masters was great.
It was great.
Yeah,
we got some drama.
I was going in. I was like, I do not want like a 5-shot lead on a Sunday. Like that is the last thing you want in Masters. So I'm glad it ended up being a little spicy.
Yeah. I tell you, Cam looked tired. Didn't he look tired, Cameron Young, at the end there? His putts were just. He had opportunity. He had like multiple birdie putts to at least get tied up, and he just seemed worn out or something. Rory just seemed strong. Like he seemed strong the whole way through. Scheffler, man, I thought, man, he was coming.
There was a minute I was like, he's coming back.
He's coming in. But it was, and Rose was right there, and he faltered at the end. But yeah, it was great. Back to back, right? 1 of 4.
Back to back for the first time since Tiger Woods did it in 2001.
Yeah,
2001. So that's and when you're 1 of 4 golfers to do something, that's really impressive.
No doubt. And I was looking at the 4. And it's Jack, it's Tiger, and Nick Faldo.
Yeah.
How about that? I mean, he was a great golfer, but you don't think of you think of Tiger and Jack and Arnie or somebody.
Honestly, I think it's almost more impressive these days to be able to win the Masters back to back or other majors back to back.
Yeah.
Because the field has gotten so much better. I feel like back then there weren't quite as many golfers that were nearly as good and dialed in the way these guys are week in and week out. But your guy Sam Burns was at one point in time in contention to win. My guy Shane Lowry at one point was, and then he went 8 over. Thanks a lot, Shane.
Thanks a lot.
Did he really on Sunday?
He went 8 over.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a horrific round if you don't know.
Yeah, my 2 golfers had both looked like, well, Schauffele was like in it, but it was like 3 under pretty much the whole thing, and then had a good Sunday. And then obviously Bryson DeChambeau, his 3D golf club didn't work very well.
Yeah, really. Go back to the lab.
But I mean, it does go to show you the guys who went to live just don't have the same competitive level of golf every single week.
Right.
And
they're just not playing these courses and having to golf that amount.
They used to golf 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It was and they can wear shorts and play music and
So these 3D printed clubs, would it have survived Sergio Garcia's tantrum? Would it have survived that?
Not, probably not.
Did you see that?
I did.
Gee, Serge, get it together, man. He lost all his marbles for a minute.
He did. One cool story about Sergio Garcia: after he won the Masters, his wife was pregnant, and they named her Azalea.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that is.
In honor
of that.
That's a great name.
The flower, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
all right,
great weekend.
All right, so we've got pairs of tickets to go see Hardy next week, 3 pairs of those, and we'll also get to some Jaguars football. I promise I can talk. On the other side, you were listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 10 to XL, 92.5 FM.
Welcome to the jungle.
We're 2 more till we die, baby.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated business on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. Basically, they build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right every single time. When you need a fence, trust Armstrong Fence. Yeah, we did the fence.
Helmets and Heels.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday, the local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Spring is here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is Jacksonville's certified arborist for safe tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for homes and businesses. Protect your property, boost your curb appeal, and enjoy expert service you can trust. Keep your trees healthy and safe before summer arrives. Schedule your inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
See Gators basketball from the eyes of the guy who lived in the swamp. Take time out with Patrick Young.
Shoots and scores, and he got fouled!
Friday morning at 8:30 on The Drill with Dan and Jeff. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers.
Owning a house is kind of like being in an argument with your house. One day, it's the AC saying, I'm tired. The next day, it's the plumbing going, good luck finding that leak. Then the septic system joins the conversation. And nobody likes what it has to say. That's when you call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. One team that handles all 3, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. So the next time your house tries to win the argument, call Duck Duck Rooter. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
It's Guggen Golf time, and you and a partner have a chance to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Open Monday, April 27th at the Golf Club of Southampton. Just text Guggen to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 for your chance to win. Hit a hole-in-one for a chance at an Atlas Street Legal 6-passenger golf cart from Dynamic Drives. Get great swag and prizes throughout the course from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, TopDressing.com, Surfside Pools, and Ackerman Urology.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Summertime chicken fried mama tried. A country boy can survive. Oh, Marina, my Maria, and my Amy.
It took me a while to figure out that last word of that sentence is Miami. The way he sings Miami, this is Hardy.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, I would say one of the bigger up-and-coming risers in country music. Hardy, he started with some albums called Hicks Tape, and they were collaborations with Hardy and several other artists. He has 2 different albums called Hicks Tape, and when I first heard most of those songs, I was like, I love this guy. So that guy is Hardy, and as you can see, people want to go to the concert. I haven't even set a number yet, but we'll say call number 4, 641-1010. Call number 4, 641-1010. McCoy Moore and Mitchell Tenpenny are also coming alongside Hardy next Thursday at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. The first pair of tickets we are giving away right now. That song called Favorite Country Song, and if you listen to country, you've obviously heard that song a ton.
Yeah. He came in with, or Morgan Wallen helped him get going, right? Or something like that.
He's been featured on some Morgan Wallen songs, and then, they have a good relationship.
He's good.
For sure.
I've heard Hardy a few times.
He's much more, like we talked about with
like
Eric Church. There's like a Jason Aldean, more of like that rock style.
Yep.
He's definitely like that. And he has several songs that are explicit. So I had to communicate to RJ, make sure when you play Truck Bed, which will be up next.
Oh, yeah.
That you pick that clean version or create the
or
beat.
not.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to.
Oh, sorry.
You have to.
Sorry, boss.
He was, I want to say,
I'm not the boss.
I know, I'm just saying, it's 3.
I want to say 3 years, maybe 3 years ago, he was at Rockville. And I remember he was like one of the artists there.
That.
And I remember thinking immediately, like, that's a little strange. Like, I know he's more rocky in the country world, but like Rockville's very rock. And so I remember being like, that's interesting. And the amount of tweets that I saw from people being like, who is Hardy? What is this man doing up here? But a lot of people came back and were like, oh, actually, like he did kind of rock out a little bit, you know? So he does have that vibe a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a great performer.
For sure.
I'm excited for the people that are winning the tickets today. Again, 2 more pairs that you can win. And then, of course, you can also buy them online because that's how you get all tickets these days, Ticketmaster.com. All right, let's get into some Jaguars football. So starting with Travis Hunter, he basically said, not so fast, my friend, to Ian Rappaport when Ian talked all about Travis Hunter. And look, the main part of things was that he'll be a full-time corner. I think that's what Travis was reacting to is like, who told you that I'm going to play full-time corner?
Yep.
No one has specifically said that is what it seems like Travis is trying to say.
Yeah, it felt like, in the sense of nobody said, hey, and we talked about this a little bit last week. It felt like the national media was taking this as he's only playing corner. And that was never the conversation that has it felt like it's trending towards mostly corner and sometimes wide receiver, but we definitely want to make him the best possible corner he can be and make that his primary position. That does feel like what it's trending, but no one in at all has ever said that, no, he's not going to be playing wide receiver at all. And that's how national media went and kind of ran away. Kyle Brandt was one of them. And then they took down that video because they were probably like, oh, nobody even reported this. It sounds you're so disappointed about something that wasn't even reported. And so good for Travis for coming on there and being like, stop making stuff up. Like, let's just relax. Let's just see how things pan out. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah,
and nobody inside the organization said anything remotely close that he was going to do one thing or the other. They just said, no, we don't really. They say they haven't discussed it. They have, but that's all right. I just look from my perspective. I want to see him as a corner. I think we need him more we need him more on defense, and then sprinkle him in on offense.
Right.
I don't know why they jump on this story like. Yeah, well, I know why, because they want to stick it to us if it doesn't work out. That's what they want to do. Like, if it doesn't work out with Travis Hunter, they're going to go, oh, what a bunch of dummies trading up. You shouldn't have done this. Shouldn't have played them both. Shouldn't have done all this. That's what
just a dumb small market
That's
team.
what they're going to do. They're gonna take their shots, and that'll last for a little while. Like it always seems
about Liam Cohen
to do.
That really resonates with you as a football.
But I don't. I don't believe that is going to happen. I think this young man's going to flourish and have a phenomenal career. Yes, he's got to stay healthy, but guess what? Everybody does. Mm-hmm. And one injury doesn't make him prone. That was a bad situation, bad luck sometimes. Yeah. I mean, it just happens for whatever reason. So,
but if the national media loves the player, they give the injury as like, look what they battled through. Look what they've come back from, like an Aiden Hutchinson. And in terms of other players, if it feels like this way to us, if it's Travis Hunter, well, oh, look, he's got, he's prone to injury now, or at least it's all that wear and tear. Like, well, no one ever said that about other players in the NFL that had more snaps.
I think more people love him than want to see the other, him not do well. You know what I mean? From a national perspective, because he is that dynamic. I mean, no, I mean, media. Yeah, I do think that. I mean, I don't think they sit there and go, oh, I hope it doesn't work out. There'll be naysayers that do that. But the majority, I mean, listen, this guy's dynamic. He's a darling. They love, what's not to like about Travis Hunter, as a person,
That's
as a guy. Feel. Well, I think nationally they do too. Because, look, even before he went to Jacksonville, he was a superstar in Colorado. I mean, he's all over the Sports Center highlights and, him and Shadur and Dion and all the things they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I think a lot of people, I think that was a great thing when we drafted him because more of those outside people were coming to Jacksonville and seeing our team and checking it out and seeing that. Here's the thing, though, and I don't know why it can't be as simple as this. We moved up because he's the best player in the draft, period. Right. Yeah. We moved up 3 spots. Wasn't like we moved up, 15
Half
or 20.
The board, yeah.
They were 3 spots ahead of us. We wanted to jump everybody and get them. Other teams wanted them as well. We're going to use them as we see fit. We thought we'd go offense more than defense last year. And then when things started developing a little bit, we wanted them more on defense. And then we tried to find that balance. I mean, last year's our first year with them, too.
Yeah.
You act like we've had them forever. We haven't. We're trying to make the right things. The injury happens in practice. Anybody can get injured in practice. It was a non-contact drill. It wasn't a full speed. It was a one-on-one thing, where he cut and it buckled and what have you. So it's not like, we was in the middle of a full-on scrimmage. You got hurt, that type of thing. But I think, look, if you truly look at the team and where he's needed most without taking him away from the other side, it's defense. And then you sprinkle them in off. It's simple. Why can't it just be as simple as that? All you people out there, just shut up. We don't care what you have to say. Well, it doesn't matter to us or anybody around here, but maybe it resonates somewhere in the universe. But to me, they take these stabs. They take these guesses. They're not even educated guesses. They're just guesses. Let's create this story. Let's create this thing, and then we'll let it roll and see how far we can take it.
I think what the national media missed is at the end of the season on January 14th, when they had that postseason press conference, James Gladstone and Liam Cohen, here's what James was asked. Back to Hunter, for both you guys. How is his rehab going, and what is the plan for him moving forward? James said, I think it's very fair to say his rehab process is going as expected. He's hitting it hard, and obviously the joy that he brings to just the everyday operation is still something that permeates throughout the space that he enters and beyond that in the role that he'll play. We still expect him to play on both sides of the ball. Obviously, you can take a peek at expiring contracts on our roster and which side of the ball has more. Obviously, at this point, walking into the offseason, corner is a position that we have a few guys on expiring contracts. By default, you can expect there to be a higher emphasis on his placement.
Which means he's going to play more defense.
He's going to play both sides of the ball still.
Yeah.
But they also
did
their roster.
They also did since then bring back Buster and give Buster a contract. And at that point, Buster was one of those contracts expiring. So maybe that does open a little bit more flexibility even than since January 14th, because you didn't know who was going to be returning when it comes to that room. But I think that when it comes to Travis Hunter and I do think that national media likes Travis Hunter. I don't think he's one of the players that they try and root against. I do think they at times root against the Jags because they want this narrative around like Jags always screw everything up. And that's kind of been a sense of things for a long time. I do think that James Gladstone and Liam Cohen and Trevor playing better has made that more difficult for national media, because we had seen towards this end of the last season, it starting to flip a little bit where they're like, oh, like Liam Cohen and James are changing this organization and this is the best football we've seen Trevor play. And previous to that, it's been a lot of negativity when it comes to they need their narratives and they like their certain storylines for certain organizations to continue, like the storyline for the Bears of not having a quarterback and never having the 4,000-yard passer and 30 touchdown quarterback. They want that to continue because that's something for them to talk about every single offseason. And once you lose that, if all of a sudden this Jaguars are contenders every single year and Trevor continues on those final 5-6 games and he becomes this quarterback that everybody's talking about, so much of their offseason narratives are gone at that point and they have to try and find new ones. And they don't like to do that. They're lazy in a sense of they like to hold on to these things that are like, oh, it's the same thing with the same team. And I feel like, so they're holding on to that a little bit, but there's a lot of likability happening with the Jaguars right now, including a Travis Hunter and what type of personality he has. So I do think there's that kind of back and forth they're fighting with right now, honestly. And so they're trying to find ways to still be like, are they going to mess this up again? And I remember the one clip that went viral, and it was of Dion saying the Jags didn't even try and talk to him about how he managed, practices and stuff with Travis Hunter, and they blew that up because it was like, okay, well, why aren't the Jags even talking to Dion about how they handled Travis Hunter practices? And they want that to be something so bad that they're going to push that as far as possible. And so I think you just have to kind of say, who cares? You got it. This regime, this organization, they know what's best for Travis Hunter, how he can be used. You now do have all of the offseason and a half a year of how to use him and what you need. And so the draft can dictate some of that too, depending where they draft a corner. If they draft a wide receiver, what does that look like? There's probably going to be overreactions either way if they draft one of those positions, because people are going to be like, oh, what does this mean for Travis Hunter? That's going to be the first thing that pops up, but it's nothing.
Yeah, listen, let's take our 13 wins, wrap them up real tight and shove it where the sun don't shine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the winning. We won without Travis's services for a long part of the year. I mean, he would have helped tremendously. There's no doubt about it. But he wasn't there. So why? That's credit to everybody else. That's a credit to the other players. That's a credit to the staff getting them ready. I mean, that's hard to do. Can you imagine the narrative if they didn't win? I mean, look what they did to the poor kid. They ran him into the ground.
Yeah. Then he got hurt.
Yeah, then he got hurt. They're not good enough. And blah, 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 all this stuff. But, look, again, it's the off season. There's always something to talk about. You could take, and look, you know what? After you read what James said, somebody read that and said, oh, see what he's saying behind the words. He's saying he's going to play more corner. So let's put it out there. He's going to play more corner because he just said it. He didn't say it. No. But you could.
He said when you look at the roster, the position group where we need him more right now on January 14th is cornerback. Yeah. But like you said, that they were going to say goodbye to Greg Newsome. They didn't know about Buster Brown. At that point in time, they didn't know for sure if they'd be able to re-sign him or if he'd want to test the free agency
But that's
market.
what they took. That's what somebody did and ran with. And next thing you know, it became a thing. Like, oh, he's just going to play corner. And again, who cares? Let him be the number one corner in the league or one of them. No disrespect to the other guys. You know what I mean? Top three. So what? Is that not worth trading up to go get him? You know what I mean? Take out the rhetoric that he's going to change the game and do all this stuff for the game. Just take that out. Forget that was ever said. If he becomes one of the top corners in the game, is he not worth moving up to go get? I would say yes.
Absolutely is.
I would absolutely. I mean, come on. You get the best player in the draft who turns out to be one of the best players at his whatever position. That's a win. That's a huge win.
Yeah, imagine if Travis Hunter, every time the Jaguars play the Texans, is able to take Nico Collins away. If every time the Jaguars play the Colts, obviously, and the Titans twice a year, their best receivers. I don't know if the Titans have any good receivers, but play along. Alec Pierce, if he can take Alec Pierce away. And then obviously nationally, the best of the receivers too. We saw last year, Puka Nacua killed this team.
Yeah.
And Travis Hunter was available then, but he was playing more offense than he was defense when the Jaguars played the Rams in London. I just think the national media, to wrap that part of the conversation, even if other teams have been losing for years, they still like to talk about the Jets and the Giants and teams like that because
they love those sad stories, and they want those sad stories to continue because that makes them. And we know that here. We say it all the time, like working on the media side of things. The negative news gets way more interaction and way more attention than the positive stuff. That's just the world we live in. People want to argue and complain and like do whatever. And so that's just part of what it is. And they know that. They fully embrace if we say something bad about a player or negative or whatever, it makes people start to question something, that is going to get the most interaction for them. And that's what they're going to continue to do.
And we wouldn't have even brought this up again because we talked about it last week. It's just because Travis Hunter saw the post a couple days later and actually quote tweeted it and said, who told you that? Which I would have loved to see Ian Rappaport's reaction when he saw Travis Hunter's tweet.
It's like, oh
boy, I guess actually nobody told me that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he got it from somewhere else because there's a guy in a podcast that was saying that. I forget what the name of it's called. There's two guys talking, and it was recently that they made that comment that he's going to play more on defense. I think guys like Rappaport and Chet, they ran with that. But, again, it's a funny world we live in, I mean, you throw out a statement, you're not trying to say anything, and people pick it apart and be like, no, he's really saying this. And you're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm telling you, maybe if it was today, yes, but we're not going to be talking about today down the road.
Yeah. And if people wonder why they dance around certain answers, sometimes that's why. Because you say one thing like that and all of a sudden it's taken into a whole other context. I was thinking about that in the presser they were asking him about Dexter Lawrence, and he was very that's not even on, that's not on. I can't remember his exact wording, but something along the lines, we haven't even talked about that or whatever. And I'm like, well, there were reports put out that you were one of the teams that called the Giants to ask something. So clearly it was conversation. But if you say anything in the slightest to that, then all of a sudden people are running away and being like, oh, they want Dexter Lawrence, so that means they want to trade Eric Armstead. And then that's where that conversation goes.
Yeah, James Gladstone said, that's not something we've gotten into. Obviously, he's under contract with them, so not at liberty necessarily to even talk about it.
Yeah, I saw a scenario where the Texans give up their first and second for Sexy.
Oh.
Yeah, big Sexy.
I don't think they need to worry about their defense too much.
I know, but I wouldn't want to add him to it. But listen, back to the Jags real quick. Hey, keep feeding the rhetoric because guess what?
Yeah.
Liam Cohen loves it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he loves the fact that they disrespect us like that. The players are like, yeah, they do. They continue, and they do, fellas. They do. The national media continues to disrespect your ass, and you got to show them wrong all next year.
What a perfect segue to hearing on the other side from Brenton Strange on Good Morning Football, asked about his head coach, Liam Cohen. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com if you need tires, brake services, wheel alignments, oil changes, whatever you need for your vehicle. It's Big Chief Tire with 6 locations around Jacksonville. It's 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools has been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Spring is here. Time to get your lawn ready before summer heat and bugs set in. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They offer preventative chinch bug treatments, pre-emergent weed control, and granular fertilization, all with no contracts. This helps prevent problems before damage occurs, keeping lawns thicker, greener, and stronger. Call today to schedule your spring treatment. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Homeowners, ready to open your home to spring and shut out high energy bills? It's the 1 month only sale with Renewal by Anderson. Right now, buy one, get one 40% off windows and doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires April 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
There's no doubt that we were in good hands when our son's shoulder and hip issues were diagnosed quickly by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. No matter what your orthopedic issue is, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take a look. You'll be glad you did.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Of course, Roland Reach Plumbing has awards from Folio Weekly and the Bold City's Best. Now, Roland Reach is also confirmed as the Google Guaranteed Plumbing Service. Because when you do plumbing right, the word gets around. That's Roland Reach Plumbing.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I was waking up.
This is not Hardy, so do not call for the free tickets right now. We'll get to, or give away some more tickets here coming up, but let's get it to Brenton Strange. Like Tom was saying, the players love him. He was asked on Good Morning Football by Manti Te'o all about his head coach, Liam Cohen.
It's that fire, man. I see it like week in and week out. He got that fire and he got that competitive juice to him. So I love Liam, man. He makes it easy to, go out there and want to work hard and play hard for him. Just he'll come up to you in pre-practice sometimes and be like, yo, somebody said this, and that get me going. Because, I don't feel like we always get the respect that we deserve, but we're just going to keep taking it and keep working hard.
Early in that clip, Brenton Strange said, I see it, in case you thought that was a bad word. No, it's I see it. That's what he said. But yeah, I think Liam Cohen paying attention to what's being said about the team is cool. I feel like, but I really went back and watched that like 5 times because I was like, now is Brenton saying that people are saying negative things about him or is it
just
about
the team?
The team? Because I was like, I don't ever recall in the last few seasons people
saying anything
talking
about Brenton.
negative about Brenton Strange on any national or local media.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. Like, to start, I remember there was obviously some criticism of where the Jags drafted Strange because it took a little bit to start seeing some production out of Strange. So Mac Jones and him kind of started having that connection later, and then obviously this year early on. But I do think, when we had Foye on, he was talking about how he was like, they were hearing that in the sense of, he was like, we had 10 wins and they were still saying, oh, well, their schedule was easier. They only beat these teams who were injured and they only did this. And so clearly Liam was like feeding that to them in the sense, which cool. Liam told us early on in the season, they play best pissed off. And so I guess he just was like, well, I'm going to piss them off. I'm going to let them know what people are saying about them and kind of light that fire under them. And so I'm glad that you have a team that takes that and runs with it and gets better and doesn't complain, because some people may take that the wrong way. Like, why is my coach telling me negative things? And they're saying, okay, well, we'll prove to these people whatever they're talking about in that sense. So I love that though. And Liam seems like that you kind of get under people's skin a little bit, but in a positive way, because it makes them better.
Yeah. Us against the world is a powerful thing. Yeah. In sports for your team. When you
Duval versus all y'all.
Yeah, when you truly believe that, I mean, that's a really, really powerful force that you can have inside a locker room. And they feed off it. And, a lot of it's true. I mean, they kept winning and people kept complaining. I think, though, just keep it in perspective. Like, look, the Raider win was questionable. The Cardinal win was questionable. It was like, what are you doing? Like, what team are you? Then you go on the run. Of course, that was always hard to win the league.
Yeah.
I don't think beating up on the Jets impressed anybody.
The Denver one, I think, was
Denver was wicked
but
impressive.
Early on, obviously, the team loses to Jake Browning, right? And so, you beat the Panthers. No one thought the Panthers were very good at that point in time. Then you lose the Bengals with a backup quarterback for most of that game. And then, you were able to beat teams like the Chiefs and the 49ers on the road, which is really impressive. The Chiefs obviously here. So, I think a lot of it was, well, who really are this team?
Correct. Until they started putting it all
until
together.
They didn't lose.
And then they did. And that's good. Listen, and what's even greater about it for me is like Liam had him believing in all this, and deep down behind it, he's thinking about the stink of his team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, well, I got to hide it. I got to hide it till the offseason, and then we can talk about it and try to make it better. But, and look, as far as like going up to Strange, I mean, he could have saw just some little quip from some little something somewhere, or maybe he, quote unquote, made it up, like, hey, did you hear what they're saying about you, man? They're saying you're kind of soft because you're out a few games. What do you think about that? You're coming back this week.
They're telling us to go draft a tight end.
I keep hearing we're supposed to draft a tight end or something. It's funny. It reminded me, I'll take you back real quick. 8th grade, I had this coach, Mike Flood, God rest his soul. Before games, he would be like, all right, man, take a knee. And we'd take a knee. We're at St. Mary's in Buffalo Grove. And he's like, I got a letter here. And he pulled out a letter. And he's like, oh, it's from the other team's coach. Oh, dear Coach Flood, we can't wait to take your team out. We're going to beat you like a drum. McManus is a wimp. And I'd be sitting like, I'm going to kill him. I know Brenton Kelly's a wimp. And just go through it. And we'd be so fired up. We had to walk down this hill in a single file line. We were so fired up to go play a game.
And you knew it was not really from
we
the
believed
other
him.
You're in 8th grade. You're like, oh.
We believed them totally.
Like,
we're like, they really said that. We're going to kill these guys.
I'm not a wimp.
Yeah, I'm not a wimp. I'm going to show them. But yeah,
and then
listen.
The 100-pound kid got his head taken
As
off.
a coach, you got to, you got whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You got to find these ways to motivate and keep motivated and not like rest on your laurels and not look ahead and not, just keeping in the present, being very, accountable. That's a big thing. I think we can all agree on that. This team is way more held accountable than they've been in a while. And I think that's a big thing to their success.
It's kind of like, what do they say about ducks? Like on the surface, they look so calm, but under the water, they're just constantly moving their legs in order to make it seem like everything's calm.
Yep.
That's what I feel like Liam on the surface is kind of like this, not arrogant, but very cocky, right? Like the whole Robert Saleh stuff, but underneath it's like, no, nobody believes in us, and we are going to go out there and show we are the more physical team. And maybe that is why he didn't run the ball more, give the ball more to Tootin in the loss to the Bills in the wild card game, because somewhere deep down he thought this team just wasn't running the football that well in the back half of the season. And so even though the Bills defense wasn't great against the run, he had that labeled already as the stink, right? His run offense. So maybe that's in the end what we saw.
Yeah, and I'm sure there was a lot of things that went into that, because, I mean, obviously him saying the run was stinky, then that was bleeding into the end of the end of the year and into the postseason. And he's like, hey, our offense with Trevor has been able to score a lot of points, so I'm going to lean on that. And I'm sure that was part of it, but I'm sure also we know he's flipped the page. He's talked about that already. Like, it's on, you got to keep going, you got to keep improving, and that's what you got to do now. And that's why when you talk about getting a Chris Rodriguez and whatever they end up doing in the draft, they are now already into this next chapter of, okay, yes, you won 13 games, but there's a lot of work to do, because you can't get complacent and win another 13 games. It doesn't work that way in the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt. And he'll keep their head on straight. You can already tell. I mean, for him to come out publicly and call his running game stinky. Like they all heard it.
They're like, you're stinky.
Yeah, they all heard it. You know what I mean? I mean, you, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, as the coaches, you hear him say that. You know, so that's something that you have to keep an eye on and take care of.
Great job by Ryan O'Halloran for following up on that, right? Like at the owners' meetings when Liam Cohen said, you have to go back and figure out, what we did poorly, and basically, said like this, identify the stink. And Ryan said
he did
the run game. So it's a great thing that he followed up with that. So we appreciate
Absolutely.
So we always appreciate good reporting around these parts. All right, we've got more tickets to give away to go see Hardy next week. And also Tom's Take awaits on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Connect with 1010XL.
On the line, with your friends. Now everyone's exchanging ideas.
Find 1010XL on your social channels.
Picture this. Steaks on the grill, drinks in hand. Your crew gathered around a brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living makes it happen. From kitchens to fire pits, they do it all. CSSFireplaces.com. You dream it, they build it.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, or ChadAndSandy.com.
Pollen in the air means that it is time for spring cleaning and organizing. Lauren Brooks here. I just love our organized closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live, from closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for every space and budget. Make an appointment today to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off, plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday, the local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Yo, ET here. And you know that on the field, preparation wins championships, right? Well, the same goes for your health. Right here in my side of town in Fleming Island, Encore Research Group is helping locals take charge through cutting-edge research studies. Everything from weight loss to diabetes and hypertension. Their team of local, multi-specialty doctors is focused on advancing medicine and keeping our community healthy. If you want to see if you qualify, check them out at EncoreDocs.com.
Fight night is here. Join Dan and I at UNF Arena for Guns N' Hoses, Saturday, April 18th. You want to be a part of the pugilistic festivities? Go to GNHJacks.com and get your tickets now. It's Guns N' Hoses, Saturday, April 18th.
What's happening, folks? ET here, and it's that time of year again for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass happening April 22nd. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area. Craft cocktails, games, and exclusive auction items. This is one of the most impactful charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who is passionate about golf and its values. All proceeds benefit the kids of First Tee North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed this morning with a bone dry bottle of Jack Ice pouring. Damn, she got some nerve when she kicked me to the curb. Guess you could say I got what I deserve, 'cause I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed this morning.
A little more Hardy for you. He comes to ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena next Thursday, coming alongside McCoy Moore and Mitchell Tenpenny. I'm sure you've heard some songs by Mitchell Tenpenny.
I like him a lot, actually.
Yeah, he's got a really great voice. They come next Thursday, April 23rd to ViStar. Our next pair of tickets we're going to give away right now. We'll give them to caller number 2-641-1010. Caller number 2-641-1010. Obviously, you're already on the line because everyone, the moment they hear Hardy, is calling the phone lines there and talking to RJ. But if you don't win the tickets today, and we do have one more pair to give away, but if you don't win them, just go to Ticketmaster.com. I will tell you, I've looked at tickets for this concert, and they are not as crazy expensive as some concerts. So that is really good news because Hardy's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Great arena, too. Be fun in the arena. Yeah, it'll be
and
nice
it wasn't
and loud.
freezing, by the way.
It wasn't.
But we were pretty high up,
yeah.
so maybe we were too far away from the ice for it to be cold.
Okay.
But I talked to some people that had seats that were a little closer. They said it wasn't freezing. So
that's good.
But also, I think everyone was prepared thanks to us.
Yes. You're welcome, guys.
Yes, you're right.
And I do think
You're
once
right.
you get crowds of people in there, obviously that helps. And I think
You start
that, like, when
breathing.
I went, it was for a basketball game. So you're not in, like, if you're on the floor, like, they have the pit area. So
Right.
everyone's kind of close. And that a lot of heat comes from a lot of people standing in close quarters. But
It's chilly on the ice. I sat in the penalty box for the third period once.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I regretted is I didn't bring a couple beers in there with
Were
me.
people
'cause I
heckling you?
I'd have liked to. No, not at all. But it was funny because one of the guys got a penalty, and I'm like, "You troublemaker!" It was great. Yeah, they're flying around down there, man. It's fun to see that close up
How many
close.
flags were thrown on you in your either college or pro career?
Not many.
Not many?
No.
For unsportsmanlike conduct?
No. I do have a regret though.
Okay.
And I honestly I play it back in my mind many times.
You wanted to take someone's head off. And
Well,
you
it was at Penn State my 5th year, and it was in the first quarter, so I kind of felt like it would have been okay because it was early enough.
Mm-hmm.
And their QB was running to the sideline, and I was running at him, and it would have been really close. It would have been a late hit, but it would have been really close. I would have killed Coughlin because he was right behind him. I mean, and I pulled up. The ref even said, he's like, "Oh man, thank you for not hitting him," because I would have killed him.
But you're like, I wanted to.
I wanted to so bad, and I do. I think back to that play, like, you know, you always think about plays. You're like, oh man, I wish I would have done this or that or that kind of thing. But yeah,
You wish you had taken his head off
yeah, it would have been worth the penalty.
and hurt Coughlin.
Well, hopefully he wouldn't have gotten hurt too bad because, you know, maybe the kid went to ricochet a different way or something. I don't know, but he was right behind him.
I thought for sure your regret was going to be you did like lay someone out and they were out for like weeks after that.
No, his was reversed. What was
Listen, I mean,
Coughlin's?
that was the game. I'll be honest with you. My receiver at BC, Keith Miller, I knocked his 2 front teeth out. You can see it on film. The 2 teeth go blink like chiclets out of his mouth from a hit. And I felt bad, but at the same time, it was a full live scrimmage. And, you know, what are you going to do? You get, you know, I'm sorry your quarterback threw it there. You should have waited a minute or something.
What was Coughlin's reaction to that type of thing? Like certain penalties, he was like, "No, I'm glad you did that," or how did
he
that?
would not? No, he don't like. He doesn't like penalties at all. So none of that. If he would have, he would have been really mad.
Yeah.
He would have been mad. I don't know if he'd have yanked him out of the game, but he would have been.
Yeah.
He'd have been pretty mad at me because it was a real big game. We were undefeated going into the 5th year. I think we started to get ranked because we ended up we were as high as number 9 my 5th year. Then Notre Dame beat us 54-7. You sons of bitches.
Go Irish.
And yeah, go Irish.
We gotta bleep.
Yeah.
Bleep that out.
I don't know. I think that's
you
an all
can-
right
I think you
word.
could say that
Yeah, I
one.
think you could say that. They filmed Rudy at halftime.
I don't know about that.
They filmed the last scene of Rudy at halftime of that game. Yeah.
That's why
Anyway.
you hate Rudy.
So no, not a lot of
Penalties on you.
penalties
Okay.
like that. No, I was pretty clean.
Which is shocking, honestly, now that I know.
I'm not a dirty player.
No,
I mean, you're somewhat dirty.
Like Aziz Al-Shire, we've gone back and forth about that. I thought it was a dirty hit. You thought it was a clean hit, and I thought
No. It was a dirty hit. I just understood at that moment being a linebacker, like that's your one shot. You just take it. You know what I mean? It's almost like the reverse of what I just said.
Yeah.
I pulled up. Could he have pulled up? I'm sure he could have. I think they would have hit anyway. But did he have to throw his elbow in there? No, but that animal instinct kicks in at the last second sometimes, and you just throw it up and, you hit him. It's kind of, I don't know. It's part of the deal, I mean, look, again, it was illegal, so he got the penalty, and rightfully so. But I understood that last second.
And the, bam, bam moments. Your job is to tackle the guy.
I mean, I'm sorry. You're physically trying to hurt the guy who has the ball.
Unless the quarterback is sliding and taking himself out of.
Slid a little late and was way up in the air, but
Yeah, bad
whatever.
slide. It was a bad slide.
He did. He got penalized for it, so it was a penalty.
And we all said
that's
work
why
on
he's
your
changed
slides.
it since then.
Yeah. Work on your slides for
now
sure.
He just
he runs a lot more defiantly than that
he
play.
does.
He was not running defiant that play. I don't know what he was.
Yeah.
He was really doing, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So no big penalties for me that I can remember. No, I don't. None. No,
that I can remember. All right, let's see if you remember your take for today.
Let's no.
Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take for today brought to you by Morgan & Morgan on this beautiful Monday afternoon is kids, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me at all. No.
Uncle Tommy.
Yeah, don't listen to Uncle Tom. Unless it was one-on-one. I mean, I get you to the side away from the parents so they're not too mad at me for saying anything. But my takeaway today, look, we're talking about Liam Cohen, and I always think about, coaching is a lot like raising a family. It's running a company. They're all business, sports, life. They're all kind of the same kind of way. You can see by Liam Cohen's approach that it works. What his style works. And his style is tough love. It's a lot of love, though. I think people get carried away with tough love. It's too hard. No, it's not too hard because the love's got to be more than the tough. But the tough's got to be there. And what's the tough? It's just accountability. That's all. Do your job. You're paid to do your job. I'm paid to coach you to do your job. I want you to do your job. This is how I want you to do it. So just do it. And then everybody will be happy. And when you do it the right way, guess what? I reward you. I come and commend you. I hug you, whatever. You get the day off on Monday, whatever that case may be. My point is that kind of leadership works. It truly, and I know it's hard at times to be that disciplinarian or what have you, but when you back it up with love, man, it'll work every single time. As long as what? Fair, consistent, and honest. And I think Liam and his staff are all those three things, and I appreciate that. That's my take. Take it or leave it. I'm not saying I'm the end-all, say-all, but I know what works, at least in my experiences from a first-hand perspective. I hope it can work out for you as well. And that's the take. See, I remembered that.
Well done.
Thank you.
I always felt like for my parents, and talking obviously to adults now that look back at their childhoods, it was the biggest thing was not for your parents to get mad at you. The anger fades fairly quickly, right? It was more the disappointment. The last thing I wanted to do, and more than parents, honestly, coaches, teachers, whatever it was, the last thing I wanted to do was to disappoint any of them.
Yeah.
It felt like there was true punishment. Today, hey, give me your phone. Okay, I'll go in my room and get on my laptop. I got a TV in my room. All right, I can't watch it out here. I'll just go in my room
Being
and watch it.
grounded when you were 12, like I was for 2 weeks, or maybe it was like a month, something like that. But it was legit,
awful.
Yeah.
And you can't go outside. That was my thing. The moment my mom was like, you can't go outside and play with your friends, I was like, I thought my world was ending. That's all I wanted to do at that point in time. And I'm
and
like,
no
this
TV
girl, and my
really
mom
meant
would
no
always
TV.
forget I was grounded. So I'd be outside playing, and then my stepdad would come home and be like, what are you doing outside? I'd be like, I don't know, Mom forgot again.
Yeah, you figure out quick what makes mom and dad happy, what makes them mad, and then you kind of navigate through that. Being the youngest, I'm very thankful for seeing my older siblings screw it all up, and I could just find my way, find my path.
Yeah, I was the
without my
oldest,
parents
so I had
knowing.
the opposite. I was the one that was getting taught. Everyone learned from me.
That's a very important position.
Yeah.
You're the pioneer.
Get good grades, work hard in sports, and be good to other people, and then do your chores. That was really all that it was expected of us.
Respect your elders.
Yeah.
We were big on
Respect
that.
authority.
Your mother, you would disrespect mom. You were in big.
Do kids have chores?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now?
Yeah, to an extent, but not like we did. I don't think. It's more like as they get older. At least in my household, they get more chores. I mean, don't get me wrong. It takes a few. Would you just clean off your dish and put it in the dishwasher? It's all I'm asking. It takes a few of those, but they come around.
At least we have dishwashers.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not that hard. All right, Tom, more to do on the other side, including some college football. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. They've got 6 locations around Jacksonville. They've been in business for over 60 years because they take care of your vehicle as if they were taking care of their vehicle. It's WeKeepJacksRollin.com.
It's strange. The code is somehow different.
LX1010.
Encrypted? Maybe.
Is that good for us or bad for us?
1010 XL.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer team, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
You know what homeowners in Northeast Florida don't want to deal with? 3 phone calls in the same week. One because the drain won't drain, one because the septic system is acting up, and one because the AC decided summer vacation started early. That's why homeowners keep one number saved in their phone: Duck-Duck-Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Clogged pipes, septic problem, AC blowing warm air. One call brings the right team to your door. Plumbing, septic, air conditioning, all handled by one trusted crew. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. Step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring with Zero Res. You might think because you mop off and your floors are clean, but they're actually collecting dirt not obvious to the eye. After a while, the hardwood or tile or LVP looks dull. This is where Zero Res can help. This month, 20% off all hard floor cleaning. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Call 287-5727 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Make sure to ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee. My wife and I and a bunch of friends just got back from the farm, and we had an incredible experience. We toured the regenerative farm, as well as the beautiful handcrafted cabins, and were treated to a fantastic farm-to-table dinner created by Congreve and Penn. Man, was it good. Well, you can learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com. And even hear my interview with farm co-founder Doug Davis to learn even more about this amazing property. That's okefarm.com.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Ready to put your dream car in drive? Get solid rates for the road ahead when you finance with First Florida Credit Union. Enjoy competitive low rates, up to 90 days of no payments and budget-friendly protection plans. Whether you're buying a vehicle or refinancing, stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/autoloans. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit firstflorida.org/autoloans.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Riddle Wellness. The Orlando Magic have the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference and will head to Philadelphia to take on the 7 seed 76ers on Wednesday night at 7:30 as they look to make the NBA playoffs. The NFL Draft is just 10 days away, with round 1 beginning Thursday, April 23rd at 8 o'clock p.m. It's 82 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
If God was here with us today, I think I know what he would say.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. Almost time for me to get an oil change, so you know I will head to one of their 6 conveniently located Big Chief tires around Jack's. All right, time now to take this car into Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, let's talk about that spring game down in Gainesville, the orange and blue game. So everybody by now who cared has read the stats about the quarterback play. Tramel Jones Jr. had 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, was 13 of 17 passing, and had no interceptions. Aaron Philo, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, 21 of 28, but had 2 interceptions, one by DJ Coleman and one by safety Cam Dooley. Here's what I'll tell you from watching the quarterbacks up close and personal. I understand that Philo has the offense down a little bit better because of the fact that he came from Georgia Tech with offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner. I'll be surprised if Tramel Jones Jr. is not the starting quarterback when the season begins. And if that's not the case and Philo gets the start, that means he's earned it. I only got to see one practice, right? And that practice, obviously the scrimmage is set up a little bit differently than their spring practices are. But Tramel seemed to me to be the guy that he understood the offense well enough, and he's able to do more. And his throwing motion looked a little bit better, but also, and I'm not saying either one of these guys is like the next coming of Tim Tebow by any means, but he looked like the offense is going to flow smoother through him than Aaron Philo.
Yeah. Even with Philo having the experience, right, inside that offense.
Maybe it was just a little bit of nerves for Philo. They both started off a little bit slow, but there's something about Tramel that he just looks more comfortable, like physically more comfortable. But yeah, look, I think it'll be Tramel, but at the end of the day, John Summerall and Buster Faulkner have a long time to decide that. Again, they evaluate them every single day. We're just out there as fans and some media, of course, too. And 1010XL did a great job. I saw our guys down on the field. Yeah, I took pictures of them and told them they were doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, well, and that's what funny thing is. A little bit ago in the show, I said people react to negative more than the positive. The Philo interception got way more attention than anything else. Granted, some of it was Georgia Tech people being like, "Our quarterback threw 3 touchdowns today, so have fun with that, Florida." And that's just the world we live in. But I do think, everybody we've talked to for a bit has said that Tramel has a more natural and probably better arm, you would say. And I heard Denny talking on XL Primetime today about that. And he was saying, so to preface this, he doesn't know much about Philo at all, so he can't really compare the two. He was just talking about what he knows about Tramel Jones and his arm. And he compared his arm when it comes to just how well and good he can throw when it comes to arm strength and the velocity and all of that too, and Anthony Richardson. But it seems like it feels like Tramel can grasp offenses better, which is what you probably want to hear.
I definitely did not see Tramel make any throws that reminded me of Anthony Richardson's arm, but it's also scripted, obviously, too. And we'll see when it comes to the actual game. But yeah, I think the people in Gainesville obviously all went for the quarterback battle. But I think more people walked away going, the skill set or the skill positions players that Florida has, some of the best in the nation. Yeah. Like that wide receiving core is ridiculous.
Yeah, a couple of those bombs look good. They were wide, down the field.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of interesting with this, because I know we're talking about with Philo, the familiarity with the offensive coordinator, but Trammell was here with some of these weapons already playing with Florida last year. So they both have familiarity. Trammell with some of the receivers that are on this team, and Philo with the offensive coordinator. But then they both obviously are working with a new head coach and a different system when it comes to one for weapons and one for the actual offensive scheme. So it almost feels even to me, and I'm glad that they're just fully opening this and not being like, well, Philo has more experience, so let's let him have it, and Trammell, if he beats him out, cool. It does feel like it's a full-on open competition, and I like that because there is a lot of time until you start playing real football games. So you have plenty of time. If the knock on Trammell Jones is that he just doesn't quite know this offensive coordinator system as well, you have a lot of time to be able to figure out this playbook and then you already do have the comfortability with some of these weapons, so you have a little bit of an up on that side of things. But
you could almost do like a half of football for each of them against FAU, and then a half of football for each of them against Campbell, and be like, all right, let's because you don't want to do one half, or you don't want to do one full game against one team and then the other team Campbell
because of the competition, like the different defenses and whatever you'll be playing.
Competition, but
I'd like to know before those games start, though.
Most likely, I feel like that's what John Summerall certainly and Buster Faulkner are working towards, something like that. As far as, you want to know who QB1 is. I mean, we've all been to training camp practices, and it's fun for media and fans to have the true quarterback battle. But when you're talking about the actual skill position players getting more comfortable and having that chemistry,
you want a clear one.
Yeah, I think you want that. You just want that leadership too to permeate. But it was fun seeing the 47,000 fans in the stadium. And Billy Napier. Look, the offense didn't look that much different. I will say that. It wasn't like John Summerall wanted to come out. Well, all those points that you saw were because they were giving the defense points too. So as soon as the defense stopped on fourth down, the defense got points.
Oh yeah, because they had that weird point system.
They had. Still cool, they wanted. So when we left, we thought it was a tie, 45 all.
Yeah.
But they ended up taking 3 points off, so it ended up being 45-42. So either way, like it wasn't like both offenses scored.
Summerall's
that
like,
many
I'm not
points.
letting Lane make fun of us for not scoring.
That is correct. But if Lane was paying attention, it wasn't all offensive points. But it was very vanilla, other than a few of those deep passes.
How about the D line and backers?
Yeah, the trenches I wasn't like super impressed with. LJ McCray does look really good. He was a freshman last year. He looks like he's been in a college weight room and things like that. The secondary was okay, but it's really hard to tell in this type of format. Either. Yeah, to me it was like, all right, they barely played Boss, so they love him. And obviously John Summerall being able to keep him was important. But those receivers, and Dallas Wilson didn't even play. So Micah Mays, one of the transfers, Eric Singleton, one of the transfers, they got a lot of the like oohs and ahs when it came to the scrimmage.
And those are the easy things to see in something like that. Like the pass catching in general is going to be something you'll be able to eye out pretty quick. I know you were talking about you were excited to just see Summerall and the difference between him and Napier.
There was tackling, Taylor.
That's what I was about to say.
They actually were
physicalness.
tackling. Yeah, the physicality was night and day different.
Yeah.
And it seemed like there's an energy there. Like no offense to Billy Napier, but everything was so methodical that even the spring game, some of the joy was taken out of it because people weren't excited about, just the way that he is with the players.
Yeah, and look, everybody can get excited about big plays down the field too, at least on the field. They get excited.
Everyone other than the secondary coach, right?
Well,
Exactly. Coach, like, wait
defense
a minute,
coordinator getting a little upset, but
But there were some interceptions, so
there was.
The first interception that Philo threw that you're talking about had people up in arms online. I mean, he threw it right to it. Like it wasn't even like, they made the defensive player made a good play. It was just like, what were you seeing there and thinking at that point in time? But what was also fun is we went with some friends, and they have their daughter who's almost 3, and she had never been to, none of them had ever been to Ben Hill Griffin, but she has been a Florida fan, a little Gators fan. And so she got to see Albert and Alberta up close, maybe a little too close, but it was the cheerleaders, getting to watch her, watch all that stuff. It was awesome.
So Philo coming from Tech, right?
Right, Georgia Tech.
He didn't play a lot of Tech?
He was the backup to Haynes King,
so he just knows
phenomenal.
the system, and they're familiar with the coordinator and whatnot.
Yes, and if I know some Georgia Tech people thought that maybe Buster Faulkner would be retained and promoted to head coach there after if Brent Key was going to leave, and so they thought Philo would stick with Faulkner at that point in time.
Okay. Well, look, you could tell just from Summerall's disposition, he's going to make him earn it. Whoever that is, he ain't going to just hand that job over to the young man because he came from Tech. I mean, it gives him a little bit of a leg up, but like Taylor said, there's still plenty of time. You said the more they can do, but Philo can move a little bit, can he? He's athletic as well. Maybe not as athletic.
Yeah, probably not as athletic.
Right.
But, I mean, Aiden Warner, who's really not that athletic, he had the touchdown run that people were excited about.
I just want to hear more. You can do more with the kid, like especially when, it's going to be a first-year coach, first-year QB. They got to take off and run. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be part.
And I think Trammell's suited more for something like that.
I mean, anytime, I always say this, like backup comes in or new starter, whatever, when it doesn't look good, run. Just go. Just take off and get a couple yards, 10 yards, whatever you can do.
And that's what Haynes King is so good at. The former
Haynes
Georgia
is
Tech
full-on dual.
quarterback.
That's right.
I don't think either these guys, and I think Trammell can take off and run, but I wouldn't say he's like a running quarter. Like he's not. He's more of a passer.
Yeah, okay.
And so you have the arm, but I would say he's athletic enough that if he needs to use his legs, he'd be able to. Just from what I saw at Mandarin, more so than anything. An unfortunate injury, you didn't get to even see as much as you probably wanted to for him, but at Philo, just because he had 2 touchdowns and 3 picks in his games that he started at, or that he did play at Georgia Tech. So it's a very small sample size of that. So both these guys, to me, that's why I feel like it's a good thing that you're starting now with this true open competition between the two.
Absolutely.
Quick other updates when it comes to Alabama and Tennessee, because they both had their spring games as far as the quarterback battles. Keelan Russell for Alabama at 8A was 21 of 33 for 240 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. So Crimson Tide fans are very excited about that performance. And then Tennessee's orange and white spring game was under 2 hours, and it ended 13-10. So Josh Heupel's guys, very interesting. There was only 1 touchdown thrown, and that was by the Colorado transfer quarterback Ryan Staub. People were more excited to see George McIntyre and Faison Brandon, but neither one of them threw a touchdown. I obviously didn't watch either of those games, being at the orange and blue game. But
Heupel may have some work to do.
That's exactly what I thought was, and especially if that's a 3-way tie at quarterback, that could be fun to follow this fall. All right, more to do on the other side. A little bit more Florida to discuss when it comes to the basketball news. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Remember when Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser broke into show business?
We are officially starting a fraternity.
Look at them now.
We mustn't compare ourselves to regular people.
And together, they're The Drill.
We're artists.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. It's Truck Month at Nimnick Chevrolet. Bigger and better than ever. Nimnick Chevrolet is offering supplier pricing for every one of those new Chevy Silverados. The same pricing normally reserved for GM supplier companies, now open to the public. And I'll tell you this, when you deal with Nimnick, it's good folks, man. They're going to treat you right when you buy it. They're going to treat you right after you buy it. They're going to treat you right always. I can guarantee you that. Shop at NimnickChevy.com or head to this dealership at the corner of Park and Castle. Who treats you better? Nobody but Nimnick Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Spring is here. Time to get your lawn ready before summer heat and bugs set in. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They offer preventative chinch bug treatments, pre-emergent weed control, and granular fertilization, all with no contracts. This helps prevent problems before damage occurs, keeping lawns thicker, greener, and stronger. Call today to schedule your spring treatment. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service, Instant Keys comes to you.
Best Bet is #1. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. By now, you've heard the story. How I heard about how much weight some of my dad's friends at the radio station lost with Awaken 180, so I wanted to try it myself. Well, the truth is, it's really incredible. I just met with my Awaken 180 coach, and I've now lost more than 150 pounds. That is a real number, not an exaggeration. Some of you may think, wow, if she lost that much, how much had she gained? Well, that's a story for another day. But what I can tell you is Awaken 180 has changed my life, and maybe saved my life. I thought I might have been at a point of no return, but with Awaken 180, you never are. There's no medications, no fad diets, just a coach you meet with weekly who you can trust, a meal plan that makes sense, and that you'll enjoy. It's honestly a miracle. If you want to lose weight, even if you have a lot of weight to lose like me, Awaken 180 truly is the way to go. If that's where you are, try Awaken 180 today.
I'm Frank Frangie, but take it from my kid. If you want to lose weight the right way, call 1-844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
17 in a small town, weak knees in a CVS, door locked in the bathroom. What's it gonna be waiting on that test? Never thought that they'd be putting those life plans on the shelf. A couple American babies raising one up theirself. One beer turns into a lit cigarette.
All right, our final pair of tickets to give away happen right now, 904-641-1010. If you win this pair, you are on your way to see Hardy next Thursday alongside McCoy Moore and Mitchell Tenpenny at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Call number 3, 641-1010. Call number 3, you will win our final pair of tickets. If you didn't win any of the tickets, go online to Ticketmaster.com and buy yours today. That song called One Beer, a collaboration with Lauren Elena, as a matter of fact, and that does come from one of those Hicks tape albums. All right, I mentioned Florida when it comes to basketball. So Zach Alberverdi, who covers Florida for Gators Online, he posted that big men Ruben Chinyelu and Alex Condon are both trending towards a return in Gainesville. I don't think that surprises anyone. And that Thomas Houck is reportedly 50-50 on coming back, despite being considered a first-round pick in this year's draft. We've talked about, whether Houck should turn pro, whether he should stay in college. I think at the end of the day, Thomas Houck is deciding where he wants to spend next year of his life. Well, obviously, he won't know which NBA team would draft him, per se, but does he want to have one more year in Gainesville to live the college life and try and win another national championship, or does he want to turn pro? I feel like it's not an easy decision, but it's as simple as that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I feel like not easy because this path, and you could talk about it going two ways next year. You have another season like you did, and maybe, whatever, the draft stock rises and you get even higher than what you're projected to be right now, or you have an off season or unfortunate injury or something like that, and then what happens to that NBA career at that point, or where you get drafted, or what it looks like. So this decision it trickles and it affects multiple things. But I do think that for some, I know some people have it in their mind and I know they won a national championship last year, but okay, well, it feels unfinished. We were, you're right there. You get Aberdeen, right? Denzel Aberdeen back, and so you get the guard back, and like you could get another national championship and then go to the NBA. So I can see like the pool of both ways, and there's a lot of things that I do think in your mind you have to think about, because you're not just thinking this next year, that you're thinking about your future and beyond that at that point too.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're going to be drafted, obviously.
Yeah, so it's the bird in hand or two in the bush. You know what I mean? Like, do I go to the draft and secure my future, or do I take a risk. Now, look, you could take out insurance policy for injury. I don't know what that looks like, but
and he's also going to make probably around $3 million for this one season.
I don't know what he would make as a rookie NBA player. I'm assuming more than $3 million, but I don't know those contracts. But that's the risk. I mean, like you said, the injury would be more. That's where I would be sitting down going, okay, look, we love Florida. You know, we want to go back. You'd love to go back with all your boys and try to finish this thing. But here's the risk. And the risk is you get hurt. And, yeah, you'll still make some money. There's no doubt. And you'll probably be fine. It's not like you're going to be poor. But you're not going to potentially get that NBA money.
So the 20th pick in the 2025 NBA draft was signed for a total of $17.7 million with a first-year salary of $3.6 million.
Okay, so around the same.
So around the same, but for 1 year versus having the guarantee.
Because they're fully guaranteed.
They're fully guaranteed. So that to me is the biggest difference, obviously financially.
Yep.
But if you care more about winning the national championship, which obviously you're not guaranteed to win that just because you return.
Right.
But obviously Florida right now, even without Houck returning, is one of the better teams in college basketball. So if you think you can win the national championship and that matters more to you than the $14 million guaranteed, or you believe you're going to get all that and more next year, that's how I think you make that decision to stay.
Yeah, RJ, this is a question for you because I think that when we talk about NFL draft, a lot of times, and we say this, and sometimes it's unpredictable and it changes throughout the season, but we still a lot of times have conversations of, well, this is a weaker draft, but next draft, that next draft is deep and in NFL, you're talking about corners or safeties or whatever the case may be. RJ, the question for you, is it like that in the NBA? Like you're looking ahead to next year already saying, okay, this draft is heavy in guards or whatever, big men or whatever the case may be, or is it a little bit more unpredictable when you're talking about the NBA draft?
I think when you look at the NBA draft, this draft in particular, you hear that there are 3 to 5 guys that can change the entire trajectory of an organization should they be selected to whatever particular team. And that's why you feel like a lot of these teams are tanking just due to the fact that they feel like this is going to be such a heavy draft. Some individuals want to compare this to maybe like 03, the LeBron year. Maybe you can say it's 96, the Allen Iverson draft where he was selected number 1 overall. I think there are some individuals that will probably look towards the next draft. Now, I do believe a lot of guys are of this mindset. If I'm not going in the lottery this year, I'd rather stay in college another year, especially now with NIL. If I'm not going top, 13, 14, and I'm not getting that money, why do it? But, at the same time, I think there are many teams that are outside of the lottery who do select very well, and you could be going to some very great situations. I mean, OKC and Sam Presti, they're able to identify guys to where they say, this guy fits in our system. We can have him on rookie deals, and, they can help us win an NBA championship. So it depends, honestly, but I do believe now with this draft, there may be some guys who say, maybe I have some decisions to make here. A, if I'm not going into the lottery. B, if, I'm not one of those guys who, teams feel I can change the entire organization, and, by having me, come on and be that franchise face, why go?
Steve Miller's Take the Money and Run keeps playing in my mind right now. I kind of feel like...
But you get the money both ways. That's the cool part.
Well, you don't get the guarantee that 17 is a lot more than 3, you know what I mean? And for your future. So it's just, again, to me, it's more about the risk of getting hurt. Is it worth it to win the title? And Lou, if you get hurt, you're not going to be part of the team anyway. I would imagine if you get hurt that bad. You know what I'm saying? But that might be a good, parameter. What RJ's saying, like if you're going to be a lottery pick, yeah, maybe. But if not, maybe wait.
I literally quickly Googled 2027 NBA mock draft just to get an idea. And I see a ton of small forwards in the top 15 players. So that's interesting.
Him, right?
Yeah, because that's what Houck plays. To answer your question, Taylor, he may not even think about that.
Yeah.
But this year may be a little bit better to come out versus next year.
Well, RJ, what would you say on Thomas Houck? Would you say stay or go and take your NBA career off?
I think that probably just depends, on him and where, I guess like agents and scouts, project him to go. If you're saying, listen, they have me projected to go to OKC, why wouldn't I want to go to OKC? I don't think that, in the NBA draft in particular, where you say, it's a very forward-heavy draft. Who cares? I mean, NBA is very positionless basketball now. I mean, being called a small forward because you're 6'9", okay. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
so he's projected in this NBA mock draft on CBS Sports. He's projected to go 15 to the Chicago Bulls.
I'm not saying it's the greatest situation ever, but I think
playing pro ball though.
I think you're playing pro ball, but I also
former Florida head coach Billy Donovan.
I also believe that you'll be able to, kind of. Because that organization is such in limbo, I think you'll be able to play for starters minutes. I think they're looking for anybody right now who they can say, like, listen, I mean, with Buzelis and I don't really know whoever else you have. But, I mean, whoever you have there, can we build around what we have in Buzelis and Josh Giddey? And if Hal could be one of those guys, okay, now we're starting to build towards something. Yeah. But, I mean, to have the argument, I guess, to say, like, oh, a center-heavy draft, or it's a forward-heavy draft, or it's a guard-heavy. What the hell does that mean when you have, a guy like Victor Wembanyama who can play all 5 positions, or you have, an individual such as LaMelo Ball, and, here's 6'7", 6'8", probably in the NBA in the 90s, you're probably saying, okay, a large 2, and then you're probably putting him at the 3, but his ball handling ability is as such to where you're saying he's your point guard. So in today's NBA, I wouldn't worry.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking one of you Bull Gators or multiple Bull Gators out there need to fork up some dough, offer Hawk about, I don't know, $7-8 million for this year, and then get him an insurance policy that'll take him up to that 18 range,
wow.
So 10.
That is not happening. But
you gotta, because it is a money decision, I would think, and to a certain degree.
It's that, and how important is winning another national championship?
It might be more
him?
important to you than to the player. For the fan, I get it.
If it wasn't a hard decision, he would have already declared he's going in the NBA draft.
He's probably waiting to see what kind of money they're going to offer him. I mean, wouldn't you?
And to RJ's point, I didn't think about it in the sense of what team you're going to. Like, we talk about it a little bit in the NFL of like, do guys go back now? Yeah, because they don't want to go to the Jets or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. If he's seeing or hearing and the people around him are like, oh, you're going to whatever team, that maybe there's a list that he doesn't want to go to, and those teams are falling in the range of where he may be drafted, and that's what he's contemplating.
But there's so many trades in the NBA.
I know, that's why it's
even
so hard to predict
night trades. That's what's really crazy. Yeah, like, all right, good, I'm slotted to go here. Oh wait, now they already traded me.
That's why it feels like the lottery makes more sense. Like if you are in that top 14, because usually you're seeing those stick a little bit more. But I feel like it's hard in the NBA draft. It's just so much unpredictableness that's going on from start to finish.
Also in the lottery, it's difficult as well. I'll give you a quick story on Orlando Magic assistant coach God Shamgod. I mean, basically, he thinks that coming out of Providence when he came out in the draft in the 90s, he said maybe I came out just a little bit too early. He says because, it's one thing to go to a team as a point guard and the organization say, here, it's your show. Right. Here's the ball. I got drafted to Washington. It was great to be drafted to Washington, but I'm playing behind Rod Strickland, who's having like the best career of his life, this past season. I'm not getting minutes over him. So, I think it just also, Tim Thomas was also another guy. He said, listen, I could have changed probably the whole future of the NBA in 96 because there were some people in the McDonald's tournament who were scouts who said he'd go 13th overall to Charlotte. You know who went 13 overall to Charlotte in 1996? Kobe Bryant, traded to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. I mean, what if that would have happened? So, I do believe that there are many times where you're saying, where can I get minutes early?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want to be, a situational role guy? It just kind of depends on, where you see yourself in the NBA.
Quick college baseball note. Florida took 2 out of 3 at Georgia, number 4, Georgia. Okay. Now Georgia ranked 5th, but either way, Florida is now back in the rankings, ranked number 20th in the D1 baseball rankings. This stat is super impressive. Florida held Georgia, the nation's leader in homers, with 98 dingers Georgia has this season, to none in the series.
Wow.
That's how good Florida's pitching was. Florida plays host to Bethune-Cookman tomorrow night at 6:30. FSU was swept at Georgia Tech. Tech was ranked third. They're now ranked second in the country behind UCLA. This one was crazy. FSU lost Saturday. That was the third game of that series, 17-3 in 7 innings.
Ouch.
I feel like that has to be the first time FSU's lost in 7 this season. But
those are first series lost of the year.
Right, first series lost. And I feel like that has to be the first, if not the first. Very rare to lose in 7 innings.
Yeah.
So Florida State is now ranked 8th in the country. FSU plays host to Stetson tomorrow night at 6. JU won 2 out of 3 at Florida Gulf Coast. Tomorrow night, JU is at number 21 UCF at 6 p.m. and UNF won 2 out of 3 at West Georgia. UNF plays host to Florida A&M tomorrow. First pitch 4:05, and BC's still ranked.
Yeah, where are they at?
I saw
they were 23rd
I
last
think
week.
21st, 22nd,
Okay,
23rd,
moved
somewhere
up
in there.
a little bit. All right.
I just saw the logo and thought,
It's a well-rounded school.
I've got to mention this for Tom's sake.
Yeah.
All right, more to do on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The great thing about live sports, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, how did he pull that off?
Get the most live play-by-play on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Helmets and Heels. It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Spring is here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is Jacksonville's certified arborist for safe tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for homes and businesses. Protect your property, boost your curb appeal, and enjoy expert service you can trust. Keep your trees healthy and safe before summer arrives. Schedule your inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Jacksonville, are you ready to get back to the activities you love this spring? McHugh Health has helped patients for over 10 years relieve joint pain and rebuild tissue without surgery. Their regenerative medicine therapies reduce inflammation and restore mobility so you can hit the golf course, pickleball court, or softball field with ease. Don't live with pain. Schedule your free consultation today at mchughhealth.com. That's MCHUGH health.com.
Owning a house is kind of like being in an argument with your house. One day it's the AC saying, I'm tired. The next day it's the plumbing going, good luck finding that leak. Then the septic system joins the conversation. And nobody likes what it has to say. That's when you call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. One team that handles all three, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. So the next time your house tries to win the argument, call Duck Duck Rooter. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, Underwoods has sold fine quality diamonds for a long time. Why is that important?
Frank, if you drew a line with the poorest diamonds with the lowest prices to the left and the highest quality to the right, our diamonds are at the far right end. Now, once we know the weight, the grading factors of cut, color, and clarity have to be considered. And the one that's talked about the least, but it's the most important to us, is the diamond's cut grade, because it has a huge implication on both the price and the beauty, and thus the value. I've bought diamonds for Underwoods for over 30 years, so I know what's out there, and the cut grade's just not important to most diamond sellers. That's really been the Underwood difference, because beautifully cut diamonds result in the most important thing they can do. They bring a joy of owning and wearing a diamond, not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. That's why it's important to us.
And it should be to you too, because nothing brings more joy than a diamond from Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra since 1928.
Hey, Jacksonville, listen up. Termite swarms are active right now, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock. They silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Lauren Brooks here. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix it with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
A couple other notes on when it comes to the draft, which is a little over a week away now. So
Wild.
I know, we're approaching the draft very quickly. Obviously, the Jags, for now, not picking until day 2.
For now.
We will see what that looks like. But
by the way, real quick, I did see John. No, you're good. I'm interrupting you. Sorry. I did see John Shipley said that an AFC front office person told him that he would be surprised if the Jaguars pick at 56. So they said that they won't be surprised if they trade up or trade down. He bets down. I say he. I'm assuming it's a he.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought that was interesting because I told you I didn't think they would trade down. I thought, if anything, they would trade up. But, an AFC front office staff member did tell John Shipley with Jaguars on SI that information.
Yeah, them kind of laughing at not like about the weight.
Yeah.
Made me feel like they really don't. I don't know if they absolutely. Obviously, you got to see how the board falls because if there's probably going to be, Tommy and I were talking about this last week too, when it comes to, there'll be a few players where they're like, if they are there at 56, then you want them. But if all 3 of those players, 56 is approaching and you move back 3 spots and you're like, I can guarantee one of these 3 players still, why not get more draft capital? And you have more to bundle up and hopefully move in some other rounds with. So it will be interesting with that. But I think we're going to see a lot of movement in general in this draft. Everybody you're hearing, it's not just the Jags world talking about this. Almost every team there's a lot of movement being talked about when it comes to up and back and how it's trading down and up, however people want to look at it, just because it's a very interesting draft. And so for certain people, the ones that really need an edge rusher, or the ones that really like certain linebackers, they need a middle linebacker, then they're going to move up for maybe a Rodriguez or a Trotter or some of these guys that we've talked about. And then there's other teams that can be a little bit more patient. And I think the Jags are in that world this year when you don't want to miss out on, some of these guys that may sit there at 56. But if you have the chance to get one of the 3 or 4 guys you really like and get something, I think you take that opportunity.
You keep hearing that, you're going to, depending on the position, you can find starters in the 4th round, right? So if that's true, you can totally see moving back. And if the draft capitals are what we're after, then that's, part of the strategy. And it seems like that is. I mean, of course, like you just said, if there's a guy that's there, you can get him, then you take him. But, I don't know. If it's true that you can find starters in the 3rd and 4th round, which is not abnormal, 4th round maybe, 3rd round you should find at least a starter, I would think. But if that's the case, as far as that happened, then that means, mid-2nd round of maybe late 3rd round, those prospects may not be that far away from each other. You know what I mean? As far as grades and where you see them fit. Again, depending on the position, you could go defensive tackle, go 15 deep, depending on how they're picked. You may find a couple of those guys in the 3rd round. You may not take them. You may not have to take them at 56, right? Yeah. So I think feels like that's one of the consensuses out there is that, look, once you get past the top 15, right, or whatever in the 1st round, from there through maybe, middle of 2nd, they're pretty close to each other. Middle of 2nd to the 4th, those guys are pretty close to each other, if that makes sense. So I could see them, and especially since James has said, this picks is a strategy, collecting picks, having that capital so we can make a Jacoby Myers move in the middle of the season if need be. That you can understand that strategy.
And the Rams have done that really well in the past. And that's obviously where James Gladstone came from. That's where Liam Cohen spent time. Like, they don't view rounds 3 through 5 as being waste rounds.
No, not at all.
Yeah, wasted picks. They fully believe they can evaluate talent properly and get guys that are quote unquote steals in those rounds. And that's what I guarantee you, that's what they're thinking right now, is if they need to move back from 56 and to acquire more capital.
And clearly the way he was talking about the comp picks shows that too, of, how they feel about those picks. Not technically, and the way they traded up and gave away the picks for Travis Hunter, they felt like, okay, we don't need a top 20 pick to feel like you're getting somebody who's valuable and that fits your scheme and that you can plug and play right away. One of the players that I did see had a meeting with the Jags, a virtual meeting with the Jags, is Alabama linebacker Nikhil Hill-Green. He had 60 tackles this last year. He had transferred, went to several schools before Alabama, before he landed in Alabama. He went to Michigan, Charlotte, Colorado, and then was in Alabama this last year. But it was interesting because they asked him, he said, Justin Bello asked him, you made the move to Alabama this past year and recorded a stellar 60 tackles after previously playing at Michigan, Charlotte, and Colorado. How do you look back on the journey? And he said, I loved my college football journey. It was everything I needed it to be. I feel ready for the NFL and for what comes next. I made a bunch of great connections along the way, and I had a lot of great experiences at every program, and everything I learned from the different programs I think will help me at the next level. So we talk about that. Well, some coaches and scouts look at that as a negative if you move around. Some may say, hey, you were able to learn a lot of different defensive schemes and go in and play and start. He was a plug and play, started pretty much at Alabama right away when he got there this last year. So that's one name to keep a little bit later round guy, linebacker, as we're talking about.
I saw the running back from Nebraska.
Yeah, Emmett Johnson. Yeah. The name Emmett and running back are very special in the Florida world, but yes, Nebraska running back. He's visiting the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Seahawks, the Commanders, the Ravens. He ran a 4.46, which is impressive. And then he was also the Big Ten Conference running back of the year with over 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns. So, yeah, if they were to draft a running back, whether 56 or around 56, either way, that would be interesting.
Yeah, it would. I wouldn't be shocked they do anything, but I'd be kind of shocked that they do it. They make it very
I
clear.
think that would tell you something really quickly about how they feel about the rim.
Right. They let it be known that, hey, we don't care where we drafted you. You have a shot to make this team. You have a shot to be a starter. You have a shot to be a real major contributor. So 5th round, 3rd round, 7th round, it don't matter to them. I mean, look at LaQuinn Allen Jr. alone. Like, he came in as a 7th rounder, and right away you
made a splash in training camp.
You can tell right away, like, oh, this kid's got something going on. He's a very physical guy. I know they're going to like that. But even Jonah Monheim, the center, another 7th rounder. He played backup most of the year, but they feel comfortable with him taking over center if they have to. So, look, you can, again, the draft, it feels like it's always like, and I know it is that way, but the further you go in the rounds, it's just, they're just a little bit less as an athlete almost. It doesn't mean they're bad.
Or they slide because of injury history.
Or,
off the field could be so too.
Who their competition was, because you don't know. That's why you get these gems from real small schools. You're like, I don't know. You take a shot on them. They come in, you're like, wow, they're a really good football player. Because you're not thinking.
Yeah, it feels like that's happening less these days because they're transferring, because it's so much easier to transfer to the bigger schools, but not always. But like Jared Verse, that was certainly the case for someone like him. Started at Albany and then transferred to Florida State, and then obviously the Rams drafted him. My golden moment, by the way, is the fact that Rory didn't choke away the Masters.
Good job, Rory.
Yeah. I was so
also,
worried.
thanks for getting us not just running away with it.
But yeah,
we need a little excitement.
No
it was fun for sure, with the Scheffler starting late and everything. But when he had the 6-stroke lead on, what was that, Friday, I was like, oh no, this just feels like it is set up for him to blow it. Yeah, no one had ever had a lead, after that many rounds going into Saturday of the Masters, and it was like, oh no, I feel like this is not, this is too big of a lead.
Yeah.
And then it looked like he was going to squander it, and that was going to be the story from this Masters, is Rory McIlroy can't, win it back to back.
He'll never squander it again. He can drop his kid off at school, fly to the Masters, play around, fly home, and have dinner in the same day. So,
hey, I think he practiced 23 times on that.
On that course.
That course, yeah. And by the way, real quick, Cam Young, did y'all see the reason why he wears a Major League Baseball logo on his polo on the collar?
No.
Did you notice that he was wearing it?
No. Mike Kelsey said something about Cam Young this week. I'm trying to remember.
So he has a Major League Baseball logo right on his collar.
Okay.
And the reason is because his dad was the head pro at Sleepy Hollow Country Club in New York. One of the members, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred.
Okay.
So when Manfred found out that Young was turning pro, Manfred asked him if he would wear the Major League Baseball patch.
Wow.
He said yes.
Cool.
Manfred, by the way, also a member at Augusta National. So
okay.
It's good to know somebody like a Rob Manfred.
I wonder how
sure.
Rob Manfred feels about the Masters trophy.
Yeah. That it's not just a piece of plastic. I sure hope not. All right, Pest of the Day on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, Tommy Mack here. When it comes to glass, you don't want average, you want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses flawlessly across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to the Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. Only one name around here for glass and mirror, and it's Duval.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hey, Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. This month, take 20% off your whole home air duct cleaning and start breathing fresh air again. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Zero Res.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to FloridaHomeAC.com/careers to find out more.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
The
you back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Hitler's all Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online. WeKeepJacksRollin.com. The pest of the day today, always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. I was at ViStar Arena on a Friday night. Can confirm pest-free there, thanks to Terminix. They also take care of ViStar Ballpark, Everbank Stadium, and all of your favorite event venues around town because they do a great job. All right, I'm sure I've made this person the pest of the day in the past. Dove Kleiman. Everybody knows.
She drives me insane.
Yep, everybody knows the accounts like that, whether it's a Dove Kleiman and ML Football, all those types of ones. I used to get tagged when I, had a Twitter account that wasn't hacked. I used to get tagged in ML Football stuff all the time. Now, thankfully, they can't tag me. But Dove Kleiman, I'm sure y'all saw the picture that was AI generated.
Of Trevor's hair.
Lawrence.
Oh, right.
He kind of looks good, though, honestly.
And I'm not saying it looks bad.
Yeah.
But this is a flat out lie. This is not what his hair looks like.
What did the caption say? It was like
Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence with very short hair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, Trevor, you would put, if that was really his haircut, you would be shocked that Trevor Lawrence would have decided to try and look like the Iceman from Top Gun.
I think the hair
cool
looks great. I know. I love that hairstyle. But I knew it wasn't. I've seen recent pictures. Like Marissa's been posting. They've been on. And then Marcel immediately was like, I just was golfing. Like they were
the
just
Inspiring
golfing.
Greatness Foundation's golf tournament was on Saturday.
So you were seeing his long hair still there. But yeah, it's just. It's the weirdest things that they'll make up to. Like why would you go out of your way to create a post about Trevor Lawrence's cutting his hair? No.
I guess that's
so weird.
Somebody sent it to him and he just decided
thought it was real.
Yeah, I just don't do a little bit more research, maybe, please, before you send the internet into, a buzz over something stupid and fake like this. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hey, did you fall for Trevor Lawrence's haircut picture?
No, he's never cutting that hair.
Nor should he.
I mean, he'll be 44 and still rocking that. Hopefully with 5 Super Bowl rings. But yeah, it's gonna take I think a lot for Trevor to cut the hair.
Yeah. I think so too.
Could lose all his strength too, like Samson.
That's right.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was the thing where it was like no long-haired quarterback has ever won the Super Bowl, and like they went through, and I guess it's a real thing. Like nobody has who like certain length, like maybe to the ears it's happened, but beyond that. And I remember somebody asked him in an interview, like, did you ever hear this? I think it was a Barstool thing, but like, did you ever hear that there's no long-haired quarterback that's ever won a Super Bowl? Like, how do you feel about that? And he was kind of like, I guess I have to change that, like in the sense of win a Super Bowl with long hair. So he's not falling for the superstitions.
Yeah.
Masters yesterday, and I think that meant a trip to Bono's for you as far as the golf.
It did. That's fine. It's just a pleasure to compete against these two just warriors.
You haven't lost in like 2 years, right?
Yeah, it'd been a while, so I was due.
Yeah.
So I'll probably lose the next 4. John Rahm, who is a disgrace.
Yeah. I was shocked you picked a live golfer. I was shocked you picked a live golfer.
I've picked live golfers before, and they've come through.
Okay.
And Rahm's got a great track record at the Masters and was playing good on that soulless tour. And so I thought it would translate, and it did not. But I'll give, again, when you're going up against competitors like this, you can't make mistakes. And, Frank had Scheffler. He finished second. JJ had Schauffele. He finished T9. So it would, you would have had to have picked a really good player to not go to Bono's.
Did you think about Rory?
I did not. I will give Rory a ton of credit. I thought he was going to kind of like he was so bad after winning the Masters.
Right.
And it took him so long to regain his form that I thought he'd get kind of caught back up in that with all the demands of being defending champ and would go out there and maybe not miss the cut, but be, kind of maybe play like how Rahm played, just not ever in contention. But to his credit, I mean, he was phenomenal. Early and then just held on. Yeah. But yeah, what an accomplishment to go back-to-back at Augusta. So we'll certainly talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll get into Florida's spring game. Shane Matthews will join us at 5:15. to give us his perspective of everything that went down in the swamp on Saturday. So should be a fun Frangie show coming up.
It was a fun spring game, I can confirm.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Hayes.
Thank you.
All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow.